My name is Bracken Klar. I'm a co-associate producer of Focus Black Oklahoma. Today I'm talking with Jake Lerner from Tulsa Changemakers and two Tulsa Changemaker alumni. So this is going to be a story about what Changemakers does, who it helps, and what's going on. So would you like to introduce yourself, Davis?
My name is Davis Briggs. Nice to meet y'all. I am in 7th grade. I went to Kendall Whittier last year. The school that I go to right now is called Tulsa Artist Academy.
Shyanne?
My name is Shyanne Wilson. I'm in the 10th grade and I go to Nathan Hill High School. And I was an alumni last year.
All right. Jake, how about you tell us a little about yourself and the program?
Yeah, so my name is Jake Lerner. I came to Tulsa, now it's been about 5 years ago, with Teach for America. I was teaching at Tulsa Legacy Charter School. Met another TFA core member, Andrew Spector. He was teaching on the east side at Bell Elementary. And we were getting together after school and just talking and sharing about our students and all the exciting things that we were learning and doing. And we noticed that there was a difference in the level of access that we felt like we had as newcomers to Tulsa, feeling like people were communicating to us in different ways that we were valuable. They wanted us to stay here. They wanted us to make an impact. We felt there was a difference between that level of access and then the level of access that our students were getting. We didn't know who was necessarily telling our students that they needed to stay here and do amazing work and make an impact in the community. And we felt like, well, our students are the insiders. Our students are the people that can really make things happen, that see all of the amazing strengths happening and see all of the challenges. So the question for us became, how can we put our students in a position to make positive impact in their schools and communities and for their voices to be heard by everybody that needs to hear it? So we started experimenting with, we did like a 4-hour workshop over at 36 Degrees North. From there, we started thinking, okay, well, we actually might need some curriculum to go along with this, so it's not just a one-day thing that goes away. It started out as a 12-session thing. It grew to a 24 to 28-session program that operates at different school sites. So both Shyanne and Davis were both part of the program at particular school sites, and the program goes through 3 phases that we call Listen, Listen, Act. So students at a school are first encouraged to listen to themselves. You are the insiders. So what is it that you see that is really, really great? And what do you see that is troubling to you, your classmates, and in your community? The second phase of listening is going out and asking those people in our lives, classmates, teachers, administrators, friends at lunch, and whoever else, well, what is it that you see? And then the Changemaker cohorts see the intersection of those 2 phases of listening. What was it that we thought, and what was it that our community is telling us, and take action. So over the course of 24 to 28 sessions, each Changemaker cohort, which is comprised of 3 to 6 students, takes on an impact project where they set goals and metrics, they do something in the community, and then determine whether or not they were successful based on the metrics that they set and measured.
So how many students do you guys see in a year?
So it's growing fast since we started. So right now we have almost 300 alumni of the program. And we've been doing the school-based model for, 2 years, year and a half. So next year we're going to be at somewhere between 25 to 30 school sites. And if each school site has an average of about 5 students, and we're doing it over 2 semesters, that's about 300 new students entering the program next year.
And so what do you hope to see students leave the program with? As alumni, what do you hope they carry with them from the program?
Like I mentioned, it started out with what can our community get out of engaging these young people? And that was kind of where our heads were. And we started seeing students that were engaged in this process taking really powerful lessons away from the experience. And we got smart and we set metrics around the kind of things that we'd want to see and wanted to make sure that we still have room for any student to get a number of things out of the program. But something that we measure is leadership mindset. We want students to identify themselves as critical components to positive pro-social change in their community. We want them to see themselves as competent, capable members of our community that can do really, really amazing things. Some of the most powerful stories that I have just of our early impact was I had a fifth grader at Springdale Elementary come up to me at I think it was the second to last session of that semester. And he said, "Hey, Mr. Jake, I just wanted to mention that before this program, I wasn't able to ask the person at the grocery store where the cereal aisle was. I was so shy. And now I'm talking in front of 200 people. I just gave a speech in front of my class, and I just wanted to thank you." And that was something we hadn't even thought of in those early days. And it was just like such a beautiful thing to see that when students are engaged, we're not only getting unbelievable impact in the community, but then the students get to take those things into anything else they do. So that's the goal.
That's definitely something that Focus Black Oklahoma and Tri-City Collective focus on, is when we don't really have like a public university with dorms in Tulsa. So a lot of our students leave to go to college, and we're trying to build a sense of community where they want to come back and help their communities. So it's a reciprocal building of community where the students realize the communities actually value their voice, and the students also realize they have something to give to their communities that they want. And they're a valuable part of building these communities and bringing them forward. And so it sounds like our missions are sort of shared there. Shyanne, you want to tell us about like your experience at Tulsa Changemakers?
Okay, well, at the very beginning, I was nominated from a current city year that was like at our school. And we had like a mini meeting about what Changemakers was about. And at first, I was in denial. I was like, that's too much for me, because like they chose people who were like quiet. Like, people have like loud mouths, they're expressive. But I was like always in the background. So when she told me about like the process, and at the very end how we gave a big speech to like more than 200 people, I was like, absolutely not. My mom, she like talked me into it and was like, if you don't like it, you can always go out, but just try it. So I went for a couple of days, and it was mostly about like focusing on getting to know each other, who was in our group and who we're going to be working with. We had like activities about getting to know each other and ourselves. And then it was about like coming together and thinking about like, what do we want to change in our community? What stands out? Like stuff like that. And from then on, it was, yeah.
So what did you want to change in your community? What was your focus when you were going through the Changemakers program?
We all had ideas, but I think our biggest thing, like as a overall topic, was like reputation. Hill High School does not have a good reputation, but we all knew, like as people who went to the school, like it's not as bad as everyone thought it would be. So we wanted to like change people's mindsets, and like we all thought that we could like change, like the environment around us or inside the school to make the environment better. We had came together and decided like our project was to focus on like bringing students together and working on things that we all thought that needed help.
Do you remember like a thing you did that was exposed the good side or the good news from Hale to Tulsa people?
Well, our project was based, we made like posters around the school, but they were like large posters on like permanent, like forgot the word for it, canvases around the school, and we picked up trash. But the results were better than we thought it would be, because we did a survey before the project, and every student that we did a survey on agreed with us, and the people who did the surveys also participated. So it brought everyone together and made a change to the outside and inside of our community.
So you're not only like exposing the good parts of Hale to the outside community, you're also building community at Hale. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right, Tyvez, what was your experience
So
at Tulsa Changemakers?
my experience was like it was very good. The way it started was when I was in 5th grade. My 5th grade teacher, best friend, Miss Brush, Andrea Brush, I think either she got in contact with Jake or they got in contact with her, and Miss Brush just found Changemakers and she wanted to be a part of it. So after that, she just added she requested people that she thought would have been good, like leader or leadership skills that had very good leadership skills. And at first, like all it was just like we was in her room and doing stuff, and then like like a week after that, we went to a big what is it? It was like a big meeting with all the change makers, and we did like they had like cool stuff, and then we did like activities like they asked us questions like cool questions like just random questions like who is your favorite character, Batman or Superman, stuff like that. And then so after that our decision for our project was either helping homeless people or like helping the environment, and we wanted to like kind of do both, but we asked our schools, and the most thing that popped up was homeless. So we have 3 halls. When I was in elementary school, it was red hall, blue hall, and green hall. Red hall is like middle school, and so we did that, and we did like whoever gets the most stuff get good activities like extra recess or like cool stuff like that.
Awesome. Okay. Tyvez, what kind of impact did the program have on you?
So in the beginning of it, I really didn't. I wanted to be in Changemakers, but it was a lot of stuff, and I would always get sidetracked because like it was just like when you like newly begin something, you'll like do stuff that you always do, and then you just forget about that one little thing. That always happened to me when we did like meetings sometimes, but after like in the middle of it, I started to get the hang of it, and it was just like so fun to me, and it made my like it made my personal character like so much more expressive or like out loud, like I would express myself more often. I used to just be like I used to be like a class clown, but I would always get in trouble, and then Miss Brush and Miss King will always help me. Like Miss King is Andrea Brush's best friend, and that Miss King was my 5th grade teacher, and they will always help me control myself or like stuff like that.
That's awesome. So let's go back to you, Shyanne. What kind of impact do you think you made on the program? Do you think you left a stamp on the program or a footprint?
Well, personally, Changemakers changed me in a way that inspired me to like branch out to other people. Like I talk about Changemakers all the time because I'm not the person I was last year, just because of Changemakers. Because it's like you don't even realize that you're changing throughout the program until afterwards, and you're like, "Wow, I've accomplished so much." But I think I'm positive that like Changemakers is the base of like a new start.
What kind of things are you looking at now that you didn't look at before you went through Changemakers?
um I'm forgot the word, but like just connecting with like outside people and internships and just finding out new things about like something I want to do when I get older, just exploring colleges and programs and other things like that.
What do you think you want to do when you get older? What are some of the careers you have in mind?
Um I'm really into like art or film art. I think I want to be a director for movies or, write books or something.
That's great. What about you, Tyvase?
I wanna be something that will help my family out, like put food on the table and keep a shelter over the head. I wanna be probably like an engineer or like a computer engineer, or I wanna make like a YouTube channel and like stuff like that.
The computer engineering thing sounds pretty awesome. I respect folks that can do that because that's just not, I don't have a head for that at all. That's pretty impressive. So I guess we'll stay with you, Tyvase. Where are you today? Like, as far as you happy in school? You happy with where you're at? Like, are you happy with your community and with your community involvement? You happy with what you've accomplished?
Yeah, I'm like very impressed with myself because last year, or I was alumni like 2 years ago. Well, basically 1 year ago, and so I was like back then I was just like not mentally developed as much as I am right now because of Changemakers. Changemakers helped me so much on like don't swallow your tongue, speak up, like protest for yourself, like stuff like that.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. You're hopefully not just stand up for yourself, but your community, right?
Yeah.
So do you think, how did the program help you get from where you were before the program to where you are today? Do you remember any, was it a presentation you gave? Was it speaking to an adult? Was it talking to your friends in your cohort? What do you think changed you the most or helped you along the most?
The most thing that changed me the most is like sessions. Like most of the time after our actual Changemakers meetings, I will like get help from Andrea Brush, or she will help me do my homework, and I won't be so stressed, or I won't be so I forgot the word, but so crunched up and tired, and I used to be failing, but after she was helping me and stuff, everybody started helping me in my environment. They'll ask me do you need help on your homework, or do you need help in games or stuff like that?
So it sounds like you've gotten two things out of this. Not only you're willing to ask for more help when you need it, but you're also being asked for help. So you're also being able to help more people. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Correct.
awesome. That's amazing. Shyanne, what about you?
What was the question again?
Well, we kind of went all over the place there a little bit, but do you see yourself as a more involved community member? Do you see yourself as a person who's able to help people more than you were before you went in this? And do you think that you're able to ask for help more than you were before you went into before you were an alumni?
Before Changemakers, like I said, it was the process. It wasn't one specific thing. Throughout the months, I realized there's really nothing to be afraid of. It's okay to ask for help, and it's always okay to give help. I'm way more open to helping or joining or doing anything to help the community or just helping anybody for whatever reason.
That's awesome. So this is the last question for you two, Tyvase and Shyanne. What do you think the biggest problem is facing the community you find yourself in today? And do you have any proposed solutions or ideas on ways you can help? And community is obviously up to your definition. You can define community as your school community, your neighborhood, the part of town you live in. Community is up to you to define.
You want me to go first?
Sure, please.
So can you say it one more time? The first part?
Sure. What do you think the biggest problem is, or one of the biggest problems facing your community? And how do you have any ideas on how to help, or how you can plug in to help fix that problem?
So the biggest problem right now in my community is most likely gonna be like, what is it called? Like underdeveloped education, like stuff like that. And the reason I can help that is for, like, I know I sound like, no offense, like an old head, like actually, it's actually very good to stay in school. Like, don't drop out of college. Like for real, try to actually stay in college and get a PhD or a doctorate degree. Actually work hard and believe what you believe in.
You just sound like someone who's passionate and dedicated, not like an old head. You sound like someone who cares about your community and wants to get back and help. Shyanne?
Well, to me, my community is my school and just Tulsa and Oklahoma. Well, focusing on high school, I feel like a big problem is reaching out to like sources, because I know like when we took surveys and talked to other people, it was like a common thing that people didn't know, like they wanted to help, but help with what and how to like help with who and how to get in touch with people like that. So I feel like we need to like build connections and just go out to other people and talk about things like that, because there's always somebody who wants to help but don't know how.
So you think you could be like a sort of a community organizer?
Yeah, that's a big role, but I'm working on it.
All right. I just thought of another question for you guys too, and you can answer this. It's a pretty simple question. You guys going to come back to Tulsa or Oklahoma when you're out of school?
I plan on it, definitely.
That's good news, guys. That's awesome.
There's not a chance of me not coming back. I want to go to like a good a good college like Yale or like a very good college. And after that, I want to be in like NFL, because I'm good at football. And after that, I'm gonna come help Tulsa, come help the community.
That's awesome.
Stuff like that.
All right. So Jake, who can be involved in Tulsa Changemakers, and how did they become involved?
So that is expanding, and now with COVID-19, we're looking to expand our virtual programming and making the content and some of the lessons available to a much broader range of students. Right now, the in-depth after-school program, the way a student gets involved is that it does have to be at their school site. So I mentioned we'll be at 25 to 30 school sites. That's elementary, middle, and high school in TPS, union, and affiliated charter schools. And if they're at one of those schools, then they're just filling out an application. Typically, right now, every site has one coach. So you would see that coach, you'd fill out an application, and we're not looking for straight A's or anything. There's no behavior requirements. There's really two things. It's, are you interested in making a positive impact in your community? And the second thing is, are you willing to work hard toward that? And there's a student that maybe isn't as successful in a traditional classroom setting. That doesn't mean that they wouldn't be amazing contributors to the program and do really, really meaningful work.
So if someone wants to have or find out some more information about Tulsa Changemakers, where do they go? TulsaChangemakers.org.
So you'll see information about the after school program, also the work we do with Tulsa Public Schools Superintendent Student Cabinet, as well as for adults, other trainings and consulting that we do to help support educators across the community to better incorporate youth voice and help young people to see the power they have and to use that power to make a positive impact.
Shyanne, 5As, do you guys have anything to add before you go? Any burning desires or last minute thoughts or words?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, it's been good to talk to you guys. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.